Here we are at the storage lot for the marina.
A little bit of winter maintenance. It's about 20 degrees out right now. It's freezing. I'm not sure how much we're going to get done. But football playoffs are coming up. So tis the season. And got to close off our exhaust ports. Don't really want animals getting up in here. So there we go. No animals. Not going to get around that.
It's pretty nice, huh?
Fits perfectly. Now we just got to do the other side.
Here's that
Take a
one.
picture of that for me.
Okay.
Alright, so here's the next job for maintenance here is the shaft anodes, shaft zincs. You can see here's the old one, here's the new one that's going to go on. The previous owner had two on for some reason. Not exactly sure as to the need for two. I think one is probably plenty. Maybe he had an extra, really not sure. But we're going to replace one for now and we'll go from there. So these guys are pretty easy to get off. Just take the Allen key. A lot easier to do with two hands, unfortunately, but just gonna take the Allen key and loosen her off of there and get her replaced. Let me use both hands here. I'll be back. All right, and here's the new zincs. You'll notice there's this little copper tab inside of here, and that ensures a good connection when you put the zinc on. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring sandpaper with me, so I did get as much of this stuff off the shaft as possible. I may end up retaking these off, sanding that down a little bit with some sandpaper, and then reinstalling. But for today, I'm just going to get them on. Never really sure how to do this to keep those blue seals on. I don't know if they really make too much of a difference or not. I think they're just to hold your screws in to make putting this back together a little bit easier. But I can never seem to figure out how to keep them on when I'm doing this. I guess I could put the screws through. Well, two screws go from the bottom, two screws from the top, so I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, time to install it. All right, so we've got the anode on. Tighten down all of the Allen keys. Now I want to actually just give it a little bit of a little hit. If you have a hammer, it'd probably work better. And after I hit it like that, just to shock it a little bit. Now I'm just going to go back with the Allen key. Make sure everything is still nice and tight. Oh man, it is cold out here. Alright, now we're good. Time to move on to the next one. Our next big project was to change out the 4 exhaust elbows on the engine. As was shown during the survey, they were overheating, likely due to clogs. My first step was to spray all of the bolts and nuts with penetrating oil to make removal easier and avoid snapping off any of the bolts upon removal. This job was not easy. Only one of the elbows came off without difficulty. The other 3 required a big sledgehammer and a lot of pounding. The final elbow was seized to the bolt, and no amount of pounding was going to get it off. Trust me, I tried. I ended up having to drill out the material of the elbow to get it off. Here's a view of the manifold passages after the elbow is removed. You can see the manifolds were in pretty good shape, which was expected since they are closed-cooled. It is a bit hard to see in this picture, but the water passages in the elbow were nearly 100% clogged. It was actually pretty amazing that any water was passing through them. With the elbows replaced, we moved on to the next 2 issues, refurbishing the propellers and replacing the gimbal bearings. This wasn't a job I was ready to do myself, and I hired out the work. In preparation for salmon fishing once we got up to Lake Ontario, I did install the fishhawk transducer while the boat was out of the water. I removed the vent through holes on each side of the boat. They appeared to be where most of the moisture was entering the hull. When removed, there was about a 1-inch area of rot. After removing all of the rotted balsa core, I filled it back in with an epoxy. That should prevent any further water intrusion from this area. These projects completed our winter work, and now we just needed to wait for spring and some warmer weather.